mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, even in your home, you got to let it shine. Even in your home, you got to let it shine. I'm on your people now. Even in your home, you got to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, Jesus gave it to you. You got to let it shine. Jesus gave it to me too. I'm gonna let mine shine. Jesus gave it to you and me. We got to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Shine, 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 shine. We got to let it shine. Shine, 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 shine. We got to let it shine.
Working with Habitat is satisfying. To be able to help and donate my time to accomplish something so meaningful is a great experience. I would never thought I would be able to build a house from the ground up. Of course, it was very easy to do with the guidance of the pros on site. I have been helping for 20 years and I can't wait to be able to do that again.
Hammering for Habitat is a fundraising event for all ages. Lakeland Bank had a team to build walls for the future Paterson Habitat homes. Our kids were able to leave well wishes for the families whose homes these walls will build.
When families have a place to call home, it can really make the difference for an entire community. Lakeland understands that affordable housing is critical to the overall health and economic stability for the residents of Paterson, and that is why it has been supporting Paterson Habitat for so many years.
Hello, my name is Samira Martinez. At Provident Bank, commitment to the communities has been our premise since we opened our doors more than 180 years ago. Involvement with the communities we serve and helping those in need is also fundamental at Provident. Investing in the growth and opportunity in each of our markets is what we're all about. We believe in volunteering, making an impact, and leaving the world just a little better than when we found it. We're proud to support Paterson Habitat for Humanity. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul Drake, and I'm a Regional Public Affairs Manager at PSE&G. At PSE&G, we are proud to partner with Paterson Habitat for Humanity. We are also pleased to sponsor tonight's event, Lighting the Way Home. Congratulations to this year's honorees. Marty Ward, Great Job Volunteer of the Year Award, and also St. Paul CDC Paterson and the Paterson Community Partners. At PSE&G, we continue to look forward to Light the Way, and we're looking forward to working closely with you on many exciting projects. So great job, enjoy the night, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, even in your home, you got to let it shine. Even in your home, you got to let it shine. I'm on your people now. Even in your home, you got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, Jesus gave it to you. You got to let it shine. Jesus gave it to me too. I'm gonna let mine shine. Jesus gave it to you and me. We got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Shine, 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 shine. We got to let it shine. shine, shine. We got to let it shine. We got to let it shine, 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 shine. We got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, Jesus on that main line. Tell him what you want. Just on the main line. Tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Oh, call him up. Tell him what you want.
Good evening. My name is Craig Goldman, and this is my bride, Pam.
Hi.
We are incredibly happy to be tonight's celebration sponsors. We're also very, very proud to be part of the Habitat family. Our sincere thanks to the entire Habitat team and the many donors that support this great organization. Hopefully next year, all will be well with COVID and we'll drink and dance and have a great time at the real gala and not just this virtual gala. Stay well, stay safe. Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
That's 35 years of turning people into homeowners. 35 years of turning houses into homes. 35 years of helping to build stronger, more stable communities. 275. That's 275 homes that have been built by the incoming homeowners working alongside thousands of volunteers under the guidance and mentoring of our dedicated construction team. Over 750. That's 750 families that now have the safety, security, and self-reliance that only their very own home can bring. At Paterson Habitat for Humanity, we believe that a safe, stable, and affordable place to call home is a basic human right for every person. In return for their investment of sweat equity in the construction process, Habitat homeowners are given an affordable, no-interest mortgage that helps ensure their house will be their home for years to come. Since 1985, we have added over $25 million to Paterson's tax rolls and invested over $50 million in the local community. Because houses don't make a community, people do. 35 years, 275 homes, over 750 families. Those are the numbers, and they are exciting. But it's not the numbers that are important. What is important are the stories behind them. And each and every one of those numbers has a story to tell. A story of hopes and dreams. A story of a fresh start and an opportunity for a new life. These are the stories Paterson Habitat has been helping to write these last 35 years.
I really believe in the Habitat program. So many families have achieved home ownership through this program that through other means they would never have been able to.
I was impressed with their work. I was impressed with the unity that they have, and I was impressed with their vision and mission.
The reason I put the hours I put in and I do all the things that I do is because I love this job.
Habitat is a means of homeownership for a lot of people who may not have thought about that path.
The people that would benefit from the Habitat program are those that are living in substandard conditions. Some may live in basements, some may live in attics, some may live in very deplorable conditions.
I was going through hardship, a hard time of a single mom, 5 kids. Nowhere to go, had to split my kids up, and I had no hope at that moment. And they gave me that hope, and they gave me that love that God only could put on someone.
They've definitely shown me what it takes to be successful here in Paterson and in places like Paterson.
Sweat Equity is a partnership with Habitat, where a family actually puts hands-on into construction, into building.
Sweat equity is when you volunteer your time. Kids participate with their report cards, with their grades.
I've learned how to put a tile down. I learned the value of having a home.
I can paint my house. I can fix a lot of stuff in my own. And for me, that's amazing.
I have a stability in my life now, something I never had before.
There's a great need for Habitat to continue being here in Paterson.
One of the goals is to make sure that Paterson has a very strong homeowner base, and we're on our way.
Everyone sees the value of it. Everyone that volunteers, that comes out.
This is a great program to invest their time, invest finance in.
Volunteering within your community is key, is critical to move your city to the direction that you want it to go.
The love that God put in them is what they're sharing with other families.
Everybody should believe in this. And those who are sponsoring, thank you.
Thank you for this happened to us, for my family, my daughter.
That privilege and that blessing only came from Habitat for Humanity because it opened the doors.
Thank you, Habitat, for being changing my life.
It has been an amazing 35 years, and there are amazing stories that have been told, but there are more stories to write and more stories to tell. Our city, county, and country are in the grips of an affordable housing crisis. In Paterson alone, 50% of families spend more than 50% of their income on housing, which leaves very little to spend on even the most basic necessities of life. But in order to help them, we need your help. Now, more than perhaps ever before, we all recognize how important it is to have a safe and stable place to call home. As our homes become our places of work, our places of school, and our places of refuge, a safe and affordable place to call home is more crucial than ever. We are facing unprecedented challenges, but you can still help us build hope. As we overcome this crisis together, your donations are the only thing that will make it possible for us to continue our work and accomplish our common goal: more houses for more people. 35 years, 275 homes, over 750 families, all because of you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Hines, and it is my honor to be a board member for Paterson Habitat for Humanity and to welcome you all here tonight. I would like to begin by just sharing a bit of personal information about myself on how Habitat for Humanity has helped shape my life. I am a middle school science teacher for Paterson Public School District, and most importantly, I would like for you all to know that I grew up in a Habitat home. As you all know, Habitat is a phenomenal organization that helps change lives. And through Habitat, children, they gain access to housing stability. Habitat helps to give families a lifting hand up and appreciate the dream of homeownership. And I know this firsthand because Habitat was a catalyst for opportunity and a better life for me. In 1994, I was 5 years old when my family moved into our very own Habitat home. I was so happy to no longer have to share a room with my brother and to have my own room. I enjoy celebrating family events and just having the space and the freedom to play in my own backyard with our neighborhood friends whose parents were also determined to provide a better life for their family. As I grew older, I started to really appreciate all the opportunities that Habitat for Humanity afforded me, such as educational components like going to enrichment programs and doing various summer internships. And as well as for me, I would say studying and just being able to do my work in a nice, safe, quiet environment. I mean, to me, I really feel as though Habitat gave me a space to study, something that many people in my community did not have. I thank God for the doors of opportunity that Habitat helped to open and provide a positive change, not only in my family's life, but within our community. And it's an honor to continue this unique partnership with this life-changing organization. And as we are all here today in celebration, although in a different setting than we expected to be in, let's just remember the fantastic opportunities that Habitat provides for families, for communities, and the improvement of quality of life for generations to come. I thank you all for your continued work and support as we continue on with the growth and vision of Paterson Habitat for Humanity. Please enjoy this year's first virtual celebration as we are lighting the way home, one family at a time. Thank you, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of our evening together.
Good evening. I'm your host, CK Sweat, and I'm thrilled to share with you my passion for Paterson Habitat for Humanity as we celebrate our successes, honor our heroes, and together build another house that a family will soon call home. I'm sure that you will agree that during these unprecedented times, having a safe place to call home has never been more important. Tonight, we will share Paterson Habitat's progress over the last 7 months and introduce you to some of the families who now have a safe place to call their very own because of the work of this amazing organization. We will also honor our heroes without whom none of this would be possible. Finally, we will spotlight the accomplishments of our homeowners, including the families who are burning their mortgages this year. And with your help, everyone tuning in, together, we will raise $225,000 to build a new house for another family in need of a safe, stable, affordable home. The truly exciting news is that due to the generosity of our event sponsors and supporters, we have already raised almost $105,000. Yes! Meaning we have just over $120,000 to go before we hit our goal. Throughout our program, we'll be introducing our significant contributors to you, and we want to begin by giving a special thanks to the Craig D. and Pamela L. Goldman Charitable Foundation, who kicked off our evening, and Railroad Construction Company, our two celebration sponsors, who are setting the firm foundation for our house. Yet there is a lot more that goes into the build than just the foundation, which is where all of you come in. At any time, you can donate and help us light the way home for another homeowner family. Donating, I promise, is easy. Simply text on your phone, light home, all one word, to 44321 to make your gift. Or you go to the chat box in Zoom, there's a link there, click on it, and it will direct you to our donation page. Now, I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, the CEO of Paterson Habitat for Humanity, Scott Millard. Hi, Scott. It's great to see you again.
Hey, CK. So good to see you.
Scott, compared to its almost 36-year history, I'm a relative newcomer to Paterson Habitat for Humanity. When I was in Paterson with you last month, I got to see the amazing work the organization has been doing. I saw some of the earliest homes built in the North Side, the houses currently under construction on Hamilton Avenue, and the sites that are currently in pre-development just a few blocks away on Harrison Street. All told, 278 new houses built in Paterson, another 450 plus homes built worldwide through the Investment in Habitat's global mission, and more than $25 million added to the Paterson tax rolls. Seriously remarkable statistics. But it goes above and beyond these truly impressive housing metrics.
It does, CK. It's about so much more than the houses. The homes are a catalyst for our broader work of neighborhood revitalization. Our mission is not simply to build homes, but also communities people want to call home, which ultimately is about building hope. Hope is what it's really all about. And for 35 years, we have been in the business of building hope. Hope for the future homeowners, hope for the Paterson community, and hope for our partners around the world. Just prior to COVID, I was attending a meeting at City Hall. And at the end of the meeting, a woman I did not know at all stopped me and emphatically told me that she needed to talk to me. I was a little nervous, not exactly sure what was going to come next, but I smiled and said, sure, let's talk. And she began to tell me her story, and she explained that she lives in the 4th Ward of Paterson, diagonally across the street from our Hamilton 7 project. It's a neighborhood that has suffered and struggled from years of systemic disinvestment, and she's lived through it all. She went on to tell me that she had lost hope for her neighborhood. She felt like she and her neighborhood had simply been abandoned and forgotten, which I sadly understood. She had lost hope, but she continued. She was just starting to see the glimmer of hope again on the horizon. I asked her why, and she answered, because every morning I look out my window and I see the progress on your construction site, and it gives me new hope. She has a glimmer of hope now because she believes our work will catalyze a change in her neighborhood. She has a glimmer of hope because After so many years of disinvestment, there is someone finally willing to invest. She has a glimmer of hope because she believes our homes will help improve her life even though she'll never live in one of them. That glimmer of hope is why we need all of you to help us continue lighting the way home tonight.
Well, it is so simple for our audience to help us light the way home. Just text Light Home, all one word, to 44321 or click the link in the chat box to be directed to the donation page. And we have a special incentive right now to donate. In order to start the night off strong, one of our board members and one of our advisory board members have joined forces to offer a matching gift opportunity of $25,000. So if you text Light Home to 44321 right now or donate through the link in the chat box, your gift will be doubled and we can raise $50,000 towards our goal. Scott, when we toured Paterson a few weeks ago, we visited Great Falls and talked about the vision Alexander Hamilton had for the area. A vision which ultimately became the city of Paterson. A place that has endured many cycles of prosperity and struggle over the last 230 or so years. I mean, the work of Paterson Habitat clearly reflects Hamilton's vision.
You're right, CK. The work really does reflect and require having a vision like Hamilton had for this city. The work takes vision, courage, and dedication, and Paterson Habitat has been so fortunate to be led and supported by dedicated and courageous visionaries since its very first days. Barbara Dunn, who is with us tonight along with her husband Andy, one of our regular volunteers, guided Paterson Habitat for 26 years as it built over 230 homes. Thank you, Barbara, for your vision, dedication, and courage. And thank you, Andy, for continuing to faithfully build with us. And before Barbara, there was Pastor John Algara. To know Pastor John is to love Pastor John. Paterson Habitat is here today because Pastor John dared to dream a dream, along with two other Paterson pastors. They dreamed a dream that catalyzed a movement. Pastor John is still dreaming dreams about Paterson, and he's still dreaming dreams about Paterson Habitat, and it is my pleasure to introduce him to you now.
Good evening. My name is John Algara, and I've been privileged to have been associated with Paterson Habitat for Humanity for 35 years. First as one of the founders of the affiliate, and then currently as a board member and an advisor. I actually helped build the first 50 homes and wired them together with my dad. I've also been able to dedicate most of our 300 homes, and what a wonderful occasion of celebrating new families having a new place to live. The belief that every person deserves a safe, stable, affordable place to call home led us to found Paterson Habitat for Humanity 35 years ago, and it still motivates us to move forward today. We've witnessed a significant ongoing restoration of the city's North Side neighborhood, and our efforts are currently focused primarily on bringing about that same kind of revitalization in the 4th Ward of Paterson. We are more than just home builders. We have contributed to the broader redevelopment of these areas, supporting neighborhood safety programs, sponsoring community gardens, cleaning up parks, and creating new ones. Currently, we're participating with a multi-agency task force to help local families burdened by the effects of COVID-19, and all the while continuing to build as many homes as possible. Recently, 7 families moved into safe, stable, affordable homes despite the challenges and limitations brought on by the pandemic. Since reopening in June, our Habitat Restore in Wayne has been helping many local shoppers make pandemic upgrades to their homes, enabling them to successfully work and attend school from home while saving money and preventing used building materials and furniture from going into landfills. As you can see here, our efforts have been blessed beyond measure for over 35 years of our existence, and our desire to continue to meet the housing needs of our neighborhoods that we continue to serve. But to do this, we need your help. We have completed 3 of the homes of our Hamilton 7 project, and the final 4 are under construction. Tonight, you can help us to finish these homes and move on to our next exciting projects in the 4th Ward on Harrison Street and Governor Street. The Harrison 8 and the Governor 5 will transform 2 large blighted lots into a beautiful neighborhood where 13 more families will live in safe, secure housing, moving from substandard housing. The vision that led us to found Paterson Habitat 35 years ago is the same vision that still guides us today. It's a safe, stable, affordable place to call home that has never been more important than it is today. Please join me in helping us light the way home for these families tonight.
Wow, he wired the first 50 houses with his dad. Talk about a family business. Thank you, Pastor John, for your vision, courage, and dedication. And thank you to our gold sponsor, Columbia Bank. Columbia's sponsorship is providing the funds for the framing, lumber, and roof trusses of the house we're building tonight. And now we need you to join our team. Join our Habitat family to continue the work at Hamilton 7, Harrison 8, and Governor 5 that Pastor John just showed us. And this is very exciting. Just since we started, we've already added additional $3,500. Double that up, that's $7,000 raised in what, 10 minutes? Keep it coming. You all are doing great. We are making progress towards lighting the way home for another homeowner family, but we can't do it without each of you. You can donate now by texting Light Home to 44321 or use the link in the chat box. Just envision it. A $250 donation could purchase a window. A gift of $50 could be used to install a light fixture. We can work together right now to shine some light in this home. Scott, one of the things I was impressed about when we were on site together was the esprit de corps of everyone involved. It really is a team effort, isn't it?
It really is, CK. Every home we build is only built because of partnerships. Partnerships with the incoming homeowners who each provide 400 hours of sweat equity labor on their homes. Partnerships with our volunteers, which in 2019 provided the equivalent work of 15 full-time construction employees. Just amazing. Partnerships with our corporate sponsors and individual donors who give so generously to the work. And partnerships with our local and state government. We simply could not do the work we do without strong partners. And we are very fortunate right now to have a mayor in Paterson and a governor in Trenton who are both committed to affordable housing. And I'm so pleased to introduce to you to our partner in City Hall, Mayor Andre Saya.
I'm appreciative and adrenalized by the work of Habitat for Humanity. They're providing quality housing stock to quality families in the city of Paterson. And they're also helping us improve the quality of life in our neighborhoods. So Paterson stands as a proud partner and supporter of the work that Habitat for Humanity is doing in our city.
I'm off for 3 minutes if you're interested, if you want chips.
Hi everyone, and greetings from Habitat for Humanity of Paterson's Lighting the Way Home virtual gala. My name is Allie Reese, and I'm the Regional Officer for CRA at M&T Bank. I wanted to take a moment to share with you some of the reasons that I think Paterson is such an exemplary organization. First and foremost, Paterson! This beautiful city is filled with some of the most resilient people I've ever met. Secondly, building affordable homes for families in Paterson. Habitat's many years of constructing affordable housing units has resulted in the building of far more than shelter. It is building community. Third, speaking of community, Paterson Habitat is exceptional in the way that they have built community in 2 different wards. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate this year's honorees. Marty Ward, congratulations on being Volunteer of the Year. And to our M&T friends and partners at St. Paul CDC, congratulations on being Community Partner of the Year. I wish you all the best and hopefully see you in person next year. Good night.
At Valley, we believe banking is more than dealing with people's finances. It's about improving the social, economic, and environmental conditions in the communities we serve. And we want to shed a spotlight on a community partner that shares in that mission.
Hello, everyone. Paterson Habitat for Humanity's work has never been more important than it is right now. For many families who were already struggling with a need for affordable housing, their daily lives have become only more challenging due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That's why we're proud to be a longtime partner with Paterson Habitat for Humanity. We fully support their vision of building homes, stronger communities, and hope. So, from all your friends at Valley, we thank you for everything you're doing to transform neighborhoods by helping families achieve their lifelong dream of homeownership.
Kuchen Brothers supplied the building materials to the very first Paterson Habitat home built nearly 30 years ago, and we've supplied material and volunteer support to every home since. The organization is one deeply aligned with our own mission and principles centered on the family, home, and community. We know that every dollar and every hour spent on site goes directly to a deserving family, which helps strengthen our community. Habitat was founded on a conviction that every man, woman, and child should have a simple, durable place to live in dignity and safety, and that decent shelter in decent communities should be a matter of conscience and action for all. We couldn't agree more with that mission, and that's why the work of Paterson Habitat is important to us at Kuchen Brothers.
We would like to thank our silver sponsors, Kuchen Brothers, M&T Bank, and Valley Bank. Together, they have made generous donations to fund the interior doors, trim, drywall, and paint for tonight's house. We still need a lot more to complete our home, so let's raise those critical funds for the remaining interior work. Look, we are getting close to the holidays, and for many of us, our traditions have strong roots in food. How about we provide a kitchen for the family that will call this physical structure home? Each cabinet costs $250 and the countertop costs $500. Outfitting the entire kitchen costs $5,000. You can help by texting Light Home to 44321 or use the link in the chat box. When I visited the Hamilton 7 project, I was so impressed with the 3 homes that have been completed and the 4 others currently under construction. I met the remarkable team from Kuchen Brothers, including Matt himself. I had all sorts of questions about his company's long-term partnership with Paterson Habitat, not to mention aspects of his personal journey, which included a stint in West Africa with the Peace Corps. So cool. But he was far more interested in directing our attention to a gentleman on their staff, the irrepressible Lewis. Scott, can you share with everyone why Matt was so insistent that we spend time with Lewis?
You know, CK, I think it's because Lewis is a living example of what is possible. Lewis represents success. Lewis represents hope. Lewis didn't grow up in a Habitat house, but Lewis grew up in the neighborhood, and he went to school 2 blocks up the street from where we were all standing together that morning. As Lewis shared his story with us that morning, you could just see the smile under his mask because it lit up his whole face. He was so excited to be back home and to be there giving back. Lewis was even more excited to be there with his coworkers, so proud to work for a company that was committed to building hope for a next generation of kids just like him. Kids who need the opportunities that a safe, stable, affordable home in a safe, stable community can provide. And the reality is we need more Lewises. More people who are from the community and understand what's needed here. More people like Lewis who don't forget and are excited to give back and help families and kids growing up in the neighborhoods we work in. Thank you, Louis.
The team from Kukin Brothers was the first group to come back to the construction site after the lockdown in March. COVID has been challenging for all of us, but the pandemic has disproportionately impacted cities like Paterson. Beyond just the obvious, how has it affected the work of Paterson Habitat, Scott?
You know, the COVID pandemic has truly challenged every aspect of our work. Not just how we work, but what we even consider our work to be. Our mission is to bring people together to build homes, communities, and hope. And we've typically viewed that as a linear statement. Homes lead to communities, which lead to hope. But as COVID-19 challenged our construction processes and shut down our offices, our restore, and our work out in the community, we had to ask ourselves, how could we bring people together to build hope when we couldn't bring them together to build homes and communities? And the answer came in a text message from the executive director of Kumac, the largest food rescue operation in Passaic County. The message asked if we'd be interested in working on a coordinated response to the pandemic. We said yes, even though we didn't actually know what saying yes meant. And because we said yes, we found a way to bring people together to build hope, even when we couldn't bring them together to build homes and communities. And so during some very dark days last spring, 6 nonprofits came together and collectively mobilized our resources, including our Paterson Habitat volunteer network and restore trucks, to deliver over 30,000 food kits during the first 12 weeks of the pandemic to the most vulnerable populations in Paterson and Passaic County. We're now up to well over 50,000 food kits distributed and counting as Steve and Daryl in our Community Development Department continue this vital work each and every week. Because we said yes, because we started building with hope, we now have the opportunity to explore new ways to expand our mission of building communities and homes with new partners. We've also challenged ourselves over the past 7 months to find ways to keep building. When stay home was the prescription we were each being told to take, we felt like we simply had to find a way to keep filling that prescription for our incoming homeowner families who have no other pharmacy that can fill it for them. I'll never forget early on in the pandemic when everything was still shut down. The schools, the government, and many nonprofits were shuttered. The streets were absolutely deserted. And in the midst of all that, a homeowner sent me an email that simply said, "Thank you for giving me hope. When I see your trucks drive up the street each morning, I know I haven't been forgotten."
When I see your trucks each morning, I know I haven't been forgotten. That really is powerful. Let's hear more about what has been accomplished over the past 7 months from Paterson Habitat's Chief of Staff, Ashley Biggs.
When we began the calendar year 2020, we had big plans. But then in March, the COVID-19 pandemic struck and our volunteers were forced to stay home. But we followed the advice of local and state authorities and immediately instituted important safety protocols. We wore masks, we took temperature checks in the morning, and practiced social distancing so that our dedicated staff of 6 could continue to build safe, affordable homes for future Habitat homeowners. Our staff has gone above and beyond over the past 7 months. From March to June, they worked without missing a beat, enabling 3 families to move into new houses in the middle of a pandemic. Places of shelter, places of refuge, places to call home. In July and August, our regular and sweat equity volunteers returned to our build sites. This group of committed volunteers, future homeowners, and our staff completed 4 more houses, allowing 4 more families to move into homes of their own. Then in September, we began welcoming back groups of volunteers from our partner corporations, faith and service organizations, and schools. While it's been a challenging 7 months as we've adjusted to changing circumstances, we've been continually energized by being able to light the way home for each of these 7 families. Now we are ready to welcome you back to volunteer on our construction sites. While the building might look a little different, with morning temperature checks, masks, and reduced volunteer numbers, Volunteers still enjoy coffee break and lunch together, while social distancing, of course. All the precautions have been working very well to keep both our staff and volunteers safe and healthy. While this year took a major turn, our work did not. We continue to build, day in and day out, working toward a world where everyone has a decent place to call home. 7 houses in 7 months for 7 families. What could be more important during this time?
7 homes in 7 months for 7 families in the midst of a global pandemic, that's extraordinary.
It really is amazing. I can't say enough about how our team has come together, stayed focused, and stayed positive. Tossing a family their keys and watching them walk through their new home for the first time always reminds us why we do this. And it motivates us to persevere no matter the obstacles. And the reality is the pandemic isn't over, and neither is our work. The need for safe, stable, affordable homes has never been greater. Our construction team is still out there building. There are 6 homes under construction, 2 more we hope to break ground on before the end of the year, and 18 additional homes in pre-development. The need has never been greater, and so our response must be even greater. And we need your help and partnership so we can continue lighting the way home for more families.
We need your help. We can't do this without you. You can sign up to volunteer at patersonhabitat.org/volunteer. You can join us by donating now. Perhaps you can give $500 to carpet one of the staircases, or say $1,000 to carpet both staircases. Text Light Home to 44321 or use the link in the chat box. These Habitat homes are beautiful and well built. They are all Energy Star compliant, which helps keep them cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and affordable all year round with very low energy bills. Perhaps you can donate to insulate our home. When I was on site a few weeks ago, I was so impressed with the build quality, but I don't want you to take my word for it. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Daphne, Jennifer, and Jennifer, who moved into their brand new Habitat homes on Hamilton Avenue during the past 7 months. Daphne, Jennifer, and Jennifer, along with their kids, would like to welcome you into their homes tonight so you can see for yourself how your support can change lives.
I'm a 27-year-old mom of 6.
Before Sorry, we lived in one room in New York.
We have been living in Paterson in a building for 7 years.
When we found Habitat, we was living in a small apartment, struggling with rent, struggling with life.
Para mí Habitat por la Humanidad es un programa muy bueno, muy importante.
So we feel really happy. Now they can play in the yard.
Because it's not only a program that helps you buy a home, but it's the community.
We'd like to thank our bronze sponsors, Lakeland Bank, Provident Bank, Alma Bank, PSENG, Catherine Joseph Schmidt, and Debbie Murphy, all of whom donated at the bronze level. Together, they have funded the mechanical systems for our home tonight. The front porch, the back deck, and the backyard are prized by our new homeowners, particularly those families with young children. Many have come from overcrowded apartments with no outdoor space for their kids to play, so having a yard and deck really adds to their quality of life, especially now when we are all spending so much more time at home. Decks and porches each cost $2,000. So that is $4,000 total for tonight's house. Can you help build one or maybe both these wonderful spaces? There are also the less visible costs that need to be funded. Permits, inspections, crane service, police, and waste cartage. Can you donate $1,000, $500, or even $250 to help cover these costs? And so we get to check in now on Go Lively, and you will see that we've almost raised $157,000. This is remarkable. That means we only have about $75,000 to go. Text that number, Light Home 44321. Go to the link in the chat box. Make it happen. Let's build that home tonight. Scott, what do you think is the most important part of a Habitat home? What would you most like to see funded right now?
You know, that's hard, CK, because I think every part of the home is just fabulous. But I think for the time we find ourselves in now, the most important place for me, and I know for many of our families, is a private and quiet place to study and work. As our homes have become our schools and offices, we often need a private place for everyone in the family to study or work. I know in my home, there's often 4 video calls going on simultaneously, so trying to find that quiet place where you can focus is just so important right now. Earlier tonight, Jessica shared with us how important having her own bedroom was to her when she moved into her Habitat home as a child, and how having that room literally changed her life trajectory because she had that quiet place where she could focus on her studies. So I guess I'd say I'd like to see us raise enough money to build the bedrooms right now.
Bedrooms. I'm sure we can do that. Can you donate $500 to put flooring in one of the bedrooms of our house, or $100 to install the bedroom door? $100 also completes a bedroom closet, and $50 will install the lights. If you can help us build a bedroom, please text Light Home, all one word, to 44321 or click the link in the chat box. Our next guest exemplifies why I care so deeply about this mission. Isaiah's family applied for the Habitat program when he was 11 years old, and their home provided him the firm foundation he needed to pursue his educational and athletic passions. This past June, Isaiah graduated from high school. Let's take a look at what Isaiah is up to now.
Congratulations and good luck, Isaiah. Isaiah's story is amazing, and Isaiah's story isn't unique. A safe, stable, affordable home provides a family with the opportunity to invest in and focus on education. This is something we hear over and over from homeowners. Thank you for investing to provide that opportunity tonight for another family. It is an investment that literally changes the trajectory of lives for generations to come.
It's not just about being able to invest in education. Many future homeowners who come to Habitat are living in unsafe situations. Some have survived multiple fires due to faulty wiring and substandard construction. Can you help make our homes safe? A $50 donation funds fire and CO2 alarms. $250 funds a storm door. $500 funds a fire-rated exterior door. Or perhaps you can invest $7,000 to install the fencing around the property. There are just so many elements that go into making a home safe.
There are so many things that go into making a home safe, and there are so many things that go into making a home affordable. From the design of the house to the materials, to our sponsors, volunteers, and partners who invest their time, talents, and treasures in our work. Each year when we come together in these celebrations, we honor our heroes who help us make a difference in the communities we serve, because we simply couldn't do this work without them. And this year we are so excited to be honoring two of our incredible heroes with our Community Partner Award and our Volunteer of the Year Award. I am pleased to introduce you to St. Paul CDC, our Community Partner of the Year, and Marty Ward, our Volunteer of the Year. Please raise your glass and join me in celebrating these heroes.
We are incredibly pleased to announce St. Paul's Community Development Corporation as the recipient of this year's Community Partner Award. The Community Partner Award recognizes the tireless efforts, dedication, and devotion an organization has displayed in collaborating with Paterson Habitat to improve the quality of life for families who call Paterson home. Like Paterson Habitat, St. Paul CDC has served the Paterson community for over 30 years. Starting as an outreach mission of St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Paterson, St. Paul CDC evolved into a separate and secular nonprofit organization working to alleviate hunger, homelessness, unemployment, poverty, and illiteracy. St. Paul's has created an emergency men's shelter, a busy food pantry, and most recently a widely acclaimed SRO residence, where 5 women who have experienced homelessness now live in comfort, in safety, and with dignity. St. Paul's has partnered with the Paterson school system at 2 full-service community schools, working to address challenges faced by children at home that interfere with learning in school. They work directly with children and help families secure assistance from public and private agencies. St. Paul's applies a similar comprehensive approach to the Next Step Workforce Development Program, which teaches adult self-sufficiency through literacy and job readiness training. The organization's housing and neighborhood development programs, especially in the 4th Ward, made them a natural partner for Paterson Habitat. This partnership has benefited Paterson Habitat the greatest through the AmeriCorps program. St. Paul CDC is a local sponsor for this federally funded program, hosting around 20 AmeriCorps members annually throughout the city of Paterson. The AmeriCorps members receive a modest stipend to serve a year of public service in nonprofit organizations. St. Paul CDC places most of their members with Paterson area nonprofits, including Paterson Habitat. Paterson Habitat has benefited from the efforts of the members for more than 10 years. Members sponsored by St. Paul CDC have served in our construction department, both on the build sites and in the office, and in the community development department, working to strengthen neighborhoods we build in. Let us congratulate St. Paul's Community Development Corporation for receiving Paterson Habitat's Community Partner Award, and for all the work they have done serving Paterson residents. Congratulations.
In the time I've been doing Habitat, I've definitely sweated a lot, but I've had more fun I work with a great bunch of guys. There's not anybody I dislike. We have a lot of laughs. I miss the crowd. I miss being able to get together in the morning, like we used to pre-pandemic. And there you'd see everybody and catch up.
The past year and a half that I've been working, Marty and I have come on the same day on occasion. It's not always, but I've always known Marty to be a very much a gentleman and very much a gentle man, very unassuming and always willing to pitch in and help.
He's been always helpful. He's always wanting to learn something new if I'm doing something different that he's never done.
There are times where you don't know Marty's around. All of a sudden, things are getting done.
He's a great guy, and we are happy to work with him.
I just always think of Marty as being the guy who jumps in to do anything.
One of my first experiences here was actually working with Marty, digging some holes for the posts. There's Marty in the hole the whole time, and then we're throwing ropes around, and he's ready to lift the slab out himself, but we got it done.
I mean, we need more people, to come here and work like Marty.
If he didn't have something immediately to do, he would start cleaning up. He'd look for a broom and start sweeping up and cleaning up.
I'll say one thing, after 4 years, I'm an expert sweeper. It's just been a pleasure to work with a great bunch of guys, and also the corporate volunteers when they come on board, especially in the summertime. I've learned a lot, and the adage that you give a little, you get a lot is so true. So it's been a pleasure.
Good evening. My name is Catherine Schmidt, and I am the president of the board of Paterson Habitat for Humanity. I wonder how many of you can remember long, long ago to a song that had the refrain, "A house is not a home when there's no one there." Well, whether you can sing along with that song or not, I hope you'll agree with the sentiments of that song. So now that you've had an opportunity to hear something about how we build our houses, we'd like to share something about the people who live in those houses and who turn those houses into homes. I want to start by emphasizing that our homeowners build and buy their houses. Once they close on their house and execute their mortgage, they are homeowners just like many of us are, with the benefits, the responsibilities, the joys, and yes, even the occasional headaches that owning a home can bring. Many of them come to the wonderful time in their lives when they can pay off their mortgage and put that financial contract to rest. Now, one of the reasons our homeowners are successful is because they partner with our Homeowner Services Department. Lydia Ramos and Alina Castro are members of the Paterson Habitat for Humanity staff who work with our homeowners from the moment they come in to inquire of a home and to fill out an application. Lydia and Alina then coach them in how to save for that asset and then how to maintain it once they own it. Kudos to you, Lydia and Alina. It is worth remembering at this time that unlike us, there are still people in our community who don't have safe, affordable places to live. And while that would be important at any time, We are all experiencing how important it is now during these pandemic times to have a safe place to come home to work in, to play in, and to relax and feel secure. So tonight, we have an opportunity to recognize 4 of our Paterson Habitat homeowners who have completed the financial obligations on their home and can now burn their mortgages, figuratively for sure, and literally if they want to. And so I'm going to turn it over now to Lydia Ramos, head of our Homeowner Services Department, to introduce these families and further help us light the way home with hope. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Most of you know me already, but for those who don't, I'm Lydia Ramos, the Homeowner Services Director, and this is Alina Castro, Homeowner Services Specialist. We are here today celebrating Habitat another year. As part as Homeowner Services, our role is in helping families entering the Habitat program complete the partnering phase of 400 hours. Our incoming families begin their volunteer hours in sweat equity and construction, community activities, various trainings such as legal, homeownership, and home maintenance. We had virtual home interviews where families themselves would walk us through their homes. There were virtual homeowner services committee meetings and board meetings, key tossings, contract signings, and home closings. And now today, another joyous virtual event, the burning of a mortgage, a true milestone for families who have paid off their mortgages. I would like to introduce Pat McNeil, whose home at 38 North 3rd was sponsored by Railroad Construction, whose many volunteer employees worked on her home. We celebrate today with Pat the burning of her mortgage. Pat?
You're super hot. It's okay. Let it go. I want to thank God first for my health, my strength, and allowing me to be here today. And I want to thank Railroad Construction and just in Paterson Habitats for Humanities for putting up with me for I don't know how many years, but they put up with me. So, and only thing I wanted to say is I'm very thankful and blessed to see this day.
And now I'd like to introduce Hassan Hai, who is another Habitat homeowner who's burning his mortgage tonight. We celebrate with him.
I just want to thank Habitat for giving my family the opportunity to become homeowners. It's been a great experience, and we're just grateful.
Thank you.
How sensational is that? Burning your mortgage. It is a testament to the perseverance, dedication, hard work, and sacrifice that it takes to make dreams come true. Congratulations to each of these families who are now fully and completely the owners of their homes. As we near the close of our evening, we have raised $159,819 towards our goal of $225,000 to build a house and light the way home for another family. It's pretty extraordinary that we make this work. Behind the scenes, and I'm going a little off script right now, the effort that the committee for this virtual gala every single Monday, 9:30 a.m., on call, on Zoom, just making it work. And I think that that's a reflection of the hard work that all the crews have when they go and they build the houses, and all the homeowners have to make those houses home. It takes so much work here in the middle of the pandemic, more than ever. And look, I'm a charity auctioneer. That's why I have this silly coat. There's a gavel. I'm going to show you. Look, there's a gavel right here. There's nothing to sell. All there is communities coming together to help out other human beings, fellow citizens. And when I spent that Friday morning out in Paterson and saw it with my own eyes, that's when I understood how deeply important this is for the neighborhood, for that neighborhood of Harrison, for Paterson, for northern New Jersey, for the state of New Jersey, for the East Coast, for America. I mean, it's really one of those. It's one of those things that gives me hope and optimism going into 2021. With your support, your donations, texting 44321 Light Home or clicking the chat box link, making that donation. Let's now, at this very end part, get as close to $225,000 as possible to build that home. I mean, Scott, isn't this just all so remarkable?
It really is remarkable. And what's remarkable is that the way home is not lit by a single light. And the work we do cannot be done by any single one of us. It is the multiplying effect of each of our lights combined together that lights the way safely home. As the old song suggests, letting our light shine is what brings hope into dark places. The stories that have been shared this evening have shown us what can happen when we let our light shine into the darkness. Tonight, that is what we're doing together as we light the way home. I'd like to invite you to light a candle, a flashlight, or even hold up your cell phone with us now in a show of support, in a show of solidarity, as a statement of hope. As we each light up our individual homes this evening, together we light the way home for another family.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, even in your home, you got to let it shine. Even in your home, you got to let it shine. I'm on your people now. Even in your home, you got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, Jesus gave it to you. You got to let it shine. Jesus gave it to me too. I'm gonna let mine shine. Jesus gave it to you and me. We got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. We got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Our work will continue long after the end of our celebration tonight, and so will our need for partners like you. You can continue to donate after this virtual celebration ends by visiting patersonhabitat.org/donate.
You can also help us spread the light by sending the recording of this event to friends and family members. The link will be sent out after the event. Please follow us on social media and repost our stories. And we'd love to have you come help us build homes, communities, and hope. There are so many ways to get involved, and we are so thankful for your participation this evening as we've celebrated our successes, honored our heroes, and helped light the way home for a future Habitat family. Thank you, CK. Thank you to our amazing event committee. Thank you to AVA who produced our event tonight. And most of all, thank you. Without you, without your partnership and support, we would not be celebrating everything we have celebrated this evening. Be safe and good night.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, even in your home, you got to let it shine. Even in your home, you got to let it shine. I'm on your people now. Even in your home, you got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, Jesus gave it to you. You got to let it shine. Jesus gave it to me too. I'm gonna let mine shine. Jesus gave it to you and me. We got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Shine, 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 shine. We got to let it shine. Shine, 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 shine. We got to let it shine. We got to let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. We got to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, Jesus on that main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Oh, call him up and tell him what you want. If you sick and can't get well,